Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Josh and today we're going to be doing a speed run of how to get from 0 to 5k a month building a web agency. And I'm not preaching something I haven't done myself. Like, just to give you a bit of context, this is my agency here. We're our marketing and web agency, and this is our Instagram. As you can see, we've got loads of video testimonials from clients. So as I say, I'm only showing you what I've actually done, and it was only about a year ago that I actually started selling websites. So when I first started the marketing agency, I was mainly just selling lead generation, Facebook ads, Google ads, and about a year ago, I started selling websites. And probably since then, we've done over 50 websites, and still to this day, I've never actually built a website myself. Like, I don't know how to build websites, but we've got a developer who does all that for us. But the bit that I do know how to do is sell websites. And that is the most important thing because without the sale, there's no business. So yeah, as I say, just to give you a rundown, we've built a lot of websites over the past year for a lot of different industries. As you can see here, this is just a couple of examples of websites we've built recently. So an electrician's, a decking supply company, a horse website, an education company, a fishing e-commerce website, and an IT company. So that's just to give you some context. We work with a lot of different sectors. But the principles of how the web agency works is all the same. And to be honest with you, I think you could get to 5k a month within 3 months very, very easily. If you put in, as I say, we're going to go through in a minute all the different ways to generate leads and to generate sales for this agency. But just to start with, just to give you a little bit more context into how it all works, like the web agency space. So firstly, there's a couple of different ways you can develop websites. There's WordPress, there's Shopify, there's Magento, there's quite a few, there's Webflow, there's quite a few different platforms to build websites on. But if you're starting out, I'd probably say you want to start out with WordPress or Webflow. They're probably the two easiest, and you need to find a developer. So the way I did this at the start, so obviously when I first got a customer coming to me that wanted a website, I can't build websites, but I didn't want to turn away the work. So what I did was I went on LinkedIn and I found a freelancer based in the UK. He was based in Morecambe, right near me. And I said, how much is this website going to cost? I set up my own server. He said, right, this is going to cost this amount. I went to the client and said, it's going to be this amount, added a little bit of a margin on, went through. Obviously, throughout that process, I learned what I was doing and obviously handed all the work over and it was fulfilled. We did a good job. The client was happy. And obviously, I made a little bit on top. Now, obviously, my system's slightly evolved since then because I know what I'm doing. But, I've done over 50 websites, so I know exactly how the process works. And we've actually got an in-house developer now who does all this for us. But at the start, obviously, that's how I would recommend you learn the industry. So if you're someone now wanting to get going and you have zero clients, you've no idea about websites, firstly, watch a load of YouTube videos on WordPress, Webflow, how it all works, hosting, and then also go on LinkedIn and find someone that's a freelancer. And to be honest with you, for your first couple of sites, you want someone that's in the same country of you, that you can speak the same language, that has got a portfolio, but has done a good job previously. You want to know that you don't want to find someone on Fiverr for this that's going to do it for £100. You want someone that's going to be able to give provide you a good service, and that will help you because if you can do a good service on that first website, that's then a case study to show to your next client. And the more case studies you can get, the easier the sale is going to become. But just to give you a bit of context, this is the exact process. So you need to generate a lead. That obviously then goes to a sales process where you have to obviously explain the service and the price and obviously make the sale. Obviously, from there, you're going to get the sale, you're going to get the money. Now, the way we do it is we charge 50% up front and then we do 50% on completion. So we'd normally get a 50% deposit at this stage. We then go through and design the website. We then develop it. We then send a draft to the customer. They'll have a look through. If there's any amends, if there's anything that they want to change, absolutely fine. We'll change that for them. And at this stage, we'll get the second 50%. Now, the beauty of the web agency is there's a lot of passive income. So once that website's live, you have to pay for something called web hosting. So for that website to be live, they have to pay for it to be on my server. So I charge a monthly hosting fee. So every single month, I get a fee from that website for hosting the website. Now, I'll be honest with you, there's no work involved in this. Like hosting a website, as I say, it just sits on my server. Now, I have to pay for the server, but the server doesn't cost a lot at all. And as I say, I charge about £30 to £40 a month to host the website. So Once you start doing, 40, 50 websites, this hosting figure starts to become, a very bit of nice passive income. Like we probably earn over £1,000 a month just passively each month coming from web hosting. And then also you've got ongoing support. So some people don't want to, once you've built a website, they want you to support the website. So if there's any changes, if in the future they ever want to update the pictures or the text, they're willing to pay you a monthly support figure. So once the website is live, there's some nice passive income. So that's the beauty of this model, because once you get to stage further down the line that you've got, like I've got a friend who's done over, I think he's done over 100, 200 websites, and he gets £3,000 or £4,000 a month just passively from the hosting, and that's without even selling a single website. So that's the process. And in this video, what we're going to be focusing on is this lead generation and this sales, because as I said, I've still never built a website, so I don't want to go too in depth into these sections here. All I would say is find someone who is very, very good, get a price off them, go to the client with a higher price. That is the basics of this, but you don't want to be going to someone on Fiverr or someone that, especially when you don't know what you're doing, you need someone who knows how they're doing. And I'll be honest with you, there is so many web developers, there's so many freelancers that are willing to take on money, willing to take on work. Like you'll find in this industry, there is a lot of web developers who can't sell. So whenever you go to them, they're sort of desperate for work. So you can usually get a very, very good price. Like there's a lot of web developers who don't have a clue about sales. So if you can do the sales aspect, there's a lot of money to be had. So just to go into the 5 ways we have generated sales. So, and I'm going to, as I say, I'm going to try and be completely transparent with you here. So there's 5 main ways over the past couple of years we've generated sales. Go through each one of them with you. So the first one is cold DMs on Facebook and Instagram. So we literally just spend our time. This was what I was doing right at the start. I was just sending DM after DM to different businesses asking if they, are interested in a website. So I'd send them something like this. Hi, hope you've had a lovely weekend. I've just been having a good browse through Facebook and noticed you didn't have a website yet. They don't have to be expensive or hard work like a lot of companies will lead you to believe. I hope you don't mind me asking, but have you considered getting one before? Now, in this case, obviously the guy said, I'm okay, I'm not sure if I want to run the company anymore. If I do, I'll let you know. So obviously that's not a great response, but this is a response which was successful. So he's put, hi, I was looking to get one where you could self-serve and book in a date. So I've put, yep, wouldn't be a problem at all. We've got some top ranking removal service sites and they always do fairly well. Skip ones too. Are you free for a quick bell in a few hours? We'll grab a few details, leave you with a quote and some examples. Will only take 5-10 minutes. He's put, yeah, that's fine, mate. Send me a couple of examples and some prices if you can. So that one actually converted into a job. So that's just to show you sort of a rough template. I'm not going to lie to you, you have to send a hell of a lot of messages to get a successful one, but it 100% work. It 100% works, and if at the start you've got a lot of time, that's something you should be doing. Next method is cold calling. Now, I did this a lot at the start. This was pretty much every single day, trying to do 200 calls, and I would just ring a business and say, hi, whatever the business is, hi, is this JD Plumbers? Just giving you a quick call. I was just browsing through Facebook and I noticed that you don't have a website on there. I know you're busy. I just wondered if this is something you've ever considered in the past or is something you're potentially looking to do in the future. And then from there, I'd obviously have a conversation. Obviously, a lot of times they would say no, they're not interested. But I closed my very first website from cold calling. So I would recommend if you're getting going, you don't have a lot of money, these 2 things are the best things to get going with at the start. And as I say, if you've already lined up a web developer, more than likely that web developer might have a portfolio and they might let you use that portfolio. So obviously in this case, when they're asking for examples, right at the start, you're not going to have examples to show. But if you've already teamed up with a web developer, you might be able to say to them, please can I use a couple of yours as examples to sell these websites? And more than likely they're going to say yes. So cold calling is the second method. The third one is paid ads. Now this is where a lot of our websites come from, but I'm going to be honest with you, they're usually cheap websites. Like as you can see here, with this advert used to work so well for us. Like I've probably made like 10, 20,000 pounds off this one advert, and I'm just giving it away to you for free. But this one advert worked amazingly because, as you can see there with the monkey, it interrupted people's patterns. So as they were scrolling, they didn't expect to see a monkey. And this one worked really well. We got loads of leads off it. But as I say, because because the only sell point here is the price. So like that is far, far too cheap for a website. But as I say at the start, this was something I did just to build up a bit of a portfolio. Did work really well. I think the cost per lead was about £15. Did close a hell of a lot of the deals from this. But nowadays, I don't really want to be doing websites for that cheap. I'll be honest with you. Like, there is people out there that are willing to pay high prices for a website and they really care about a good job. Like, this sort of advert, you're going to get the bottom of the barrel people. Like, you're going to get the people who literally want to give you £100, £200. So, this is great at the start, but I think, as I say, what we're going to start doing now is we're going to start doing Google ads, where it's going to be a lot more expensive, but the quality of the inquiry is going to be better. But I say paid ads definitely does work. This is an example. As I say, this one advert has probably made me over £20,000. So, you know, I don't dispute it. I've sold a lot of websites off the back of this. This is probably one of the best ways, networking. So actually going out there, putting yourself in front of people, going to networking events. And like, I've won a lot of work off just meeting people and, you know, building up a relationship and not going for the sell straight away. Like if you get known as the web guy, you get known as the marketing guy, when anyone have a problem, they'll come to you. Like literally, I think it was yesterday on LinkedIn, someone messaged me who I used to work with. And because I post a lot about websites, he said, look, I'm just starting my own business. I need, you know, a website. Can you help? So yeah, networking is by far, I think it's massively underrated. And if you're getting going, I'd go to as many of these events as possible and you will 100% win work. And the sort of work you'll win will be higher price, so it'll be better quality work. Final method is white label partnerships with other agencies. So we get a lot of work from this. So I can't really go into it too much because we've signed NDAs, but we get a lot of work from other agencies, so other bigger agencies who, you know, want to outsource the work to us. Now, the positive of this is you don't have to do any sales. Like it's very, very easy. Once you form that relationship, you know, you're dealing with another agency. You're not dealing with the customer directly. The downside is you don't get a lot of money from this. Like, you know, they're obviously going to charge the customer a couple of £1,000 and you'll be lucky if they give you £1,000 out of that. So they're always going to try and haggle you to the lowest price possible. But this has been a really good source of like regular work. Because obviously if we're a little bit slow, but we can take work off other marketing agencies, it works really well. So I say the way we formed a lot of these partnerships was still through networking. Obviously, I've got a lot of friends who run marketing agencies. And also we just reached out to a lot of agencies and, you know, we had a couple of them come back and ask for, you know, a portfolio and from where we went on. So yeah, I hope this has provided some value, this video. I say I'm going to leave a link in the description to my Instagram and my website. So if you do need any help, as I say, do reach out to me. I'm more than happy to try and assist. I know it sounds maybe a little bit confusing at the start, but as I say, give it a go. And this is a very, very good business model. But anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video.